right, so hi guys. My name is Kassidy and I go to Sacred Heart in LaGrange. And I'm up here to talk to you and take a few minutes to tell you about my faith story. And ever since I was little, I was always a Catholic. I was baptized Catholic, and I went to a Catholic school from pre-K to 6th grade. So I guess you could call myself a cradle Catholic is the term. And then after that, I went to CYM, which is my youth group. And at all those places, which was pretty much half my life, I never cared about what we did in those places. I learned to become the most perfect Catholic, and I knew whenever to kneel, I knew whenever to stand, I knew what to say, I knew how to hold my hands. I knew all that stuff, but I never cared about what actually went on in those times. And so then I went to this retreat, and it was the summer before my freshman year. It was called cross training. And I went there, and not knowing what to expect, and we were in this part of the retreat where we went to adoration. And before this time, I had no idea what adoration was at all. And so you understand my confusion whenever I was sitting in this really cramped church, and there were people like crying ridiculously beside me, and people falling over and writing so quickly in their notebook, and I had no idea what was going on. And I was sitting there like, oh my gosh, where did my mom drop me off to? And there was people everywhere, and they were all crying, and I was like, it's okay, Kassidy, don't worry about it. We're going to focus on the music. And so if you know anything about me, it's the fact that I get music. Music feeds my soul, and it makes sense. And so I listened to the first song, and it was just kind of generic song, like, come now, it's time to worship. But then the second song, the whole first verse, said every single emotion that I was feeling. And that kind of freaked me out. I was sitting there, and my face was like this. And everyone around me was still crying, and I was still like having this moment of, oh my gosh, God knows what I'm feeling. And then the chorus came, and then after that, the verse started again. But this verse said everything that God was doing with my emotions. And with that, I kind of realized that God was speaking to me in this way. And his power kind of came in me, and I kind of felt his power, and I started to tear up with the rest of the people. And after this retreat, I went to many different ones like DCYC and Godstock. And at every single retreat, the music always said exactly what I was feeling. And it was so weird. I wasn't sure why or anything, but I knew that I wanted that feeling again, so I was trying to find it everywhere at many different places. And I realized that the feeling is from the music. And I wanted to reiterate that in my life every single day. So what I decided to do was to pray before I turned on Pandora to listen to Christian music. And I would pray about a song to, like, just tell me what I need to do in my life. And then I would turn on the music, and I would listen to it. And without a doubt, every single time, there was a song that fed my soul every single time, that told me what God was doing with my life. And so whenever I'm in that moment, it's just me and God. And not a lot of things make me feel that way. Not a lot of things make me feel that there's a relationship that's never going to break. And in that moment, it's just me and him. And also in that moment, I want to live for him because of everything that he's doing for me. Because in that moment, I realized that. And so many teens are going to come up here this weekend and tell you a little bit about their faith and tell you a story about their faith. And we encourage you to do the same. We encourage you to go to people that you know, people that you don't know, your friends, people that you just met, even us as DCYC group. And we encourage you to come up to us and tell us your story, because you're Catholic, and we love that. We want you to be proud of being a Catholic. And so we want to hear your stories because it's all very important.
Thank you, Kassidy. That was